Machtails from the Cantina Live, episode number 82. On tonight's show, brother and show producer Matthew Rooney is here, and brother and show producer Cody Mallwalker Moore is here. On tonight's episode, we will be kicking off Star Wars Month one day early.
Who are you?
I am your show host, Chris Mock, and also the documentarian that brought you The Force Among Us, The Force Within Us, The Walkers Among Us, and the real fans of the saga.
All right, boys, keep tight now.
Sit back, crack open a cold one, smoke if you got 'em.
Marijuana! Better than cracking hookers.
And we are live inside the Wampa Cave. Let the tomfoolery and hijinks begin.
Kick out the jazz, motherfucker!
I knew I would fuck something up. Hey, everybody, welcome to Machtails from the Cantina Live 82. Hard to believe it's 82. 82, it's got a bad ring to it, right? Brings me back to 1982. That was the year that I lost my father. We are kicking off Star Wars Month a day early, and I do want to mention that May is Mental Health Awareness Month. Very, very real, very, very important. Obviously, you guys know that I lost my father to suicide, and just 2 years ago tomorrow we lost my cousin Angry Mike to the same cause. So think about those guys constantly, daily, I would say. So you guys are in my thoughts, especially as we move into Star Wars Month. God, you know what, I am feeling it this time. Maybe it is the Mando and Grogu movie. Maybe it's because I've been so behind with Patreon content that, you know, I have this burning desire to get some content out. Speaking about Patreon, there's a little QR code here. If you use your phone, it will take you directly to the free link that will activate paid content for free for a limited time. So please, we would love to have you join the Machtails from the Cantina Patreon family. I want to thank my show producers. I got two of them on the show tonight. And I also want to thank my supporters for their support and tuning in. So, yes, join us in the Cantina, please. It's always an honor to have more people in this intimate setting. You know, if we were big, there might be some problems, but we're still the little garage band of Star Wars content that could. Hey, speaking about garage band of Star Wars content, garage bands in general, I hate that fucking term, garage bands. It's more than that. Brother Wayne Kramer from the MC5, Kick Out the Jams. He's always part of our show intro. It would have been his birthday today. I'm in the middle of this book. Very, very good reading. Dope Climb, the MC5, and My Life of Impossibilities. You can get this one on Amazon. Speaking about music, before I bring my show producers on, we played Rishi May's concert. Some of that's on YouTube right now. My band Rishi May's with brother Brad Riverdale. This is a Star Wars heavy project. We played Saturday night at a record store / tap room. Great place. So in the middle of the set, somebody gives me a joint. He's like, hey, man, you want to smoke this now? I said, no, I'll smoke it later. That was Saturday. I still have it. I'm drinking a beer tonight. This smells so good, but my brain is not wired for that, like some of my other friends are. But I'll get to that eventually. Without further ado, I want to bring on the non-smoker and the non-drinker, Matthew Rooney, and producer Cody Moore. How you guys doing tonight?
Great.
I am going to get rid of the QR code here so it doesn't cover up my... You're right, man. You're like, hey, man, that QR code's going to kind of override some of the content tonight. But it's important that we show that QR code because I feel like we're leading the horse to water. But if they're going to drink it or not, I don't know. But I can just lead them.
They're thirsty enough.
Thirsty enough. Hey, today is the anniversary of Star Wars Celebration 1. Star Wars Celebration 1, April 30th. God, it feels like yesterday. It makes me feel like, doesn't make me feel old. It makes me feel like time goes in the blink of an eye. And I know you guys were not there. And I wanted to have Dan Madsen on the show tonight, but I didn't even send him the invite.
That doesn't help.
No, it doesn't help at all. But Dan's been on the show several times. He's going to be in the Force Around Us documentary, the third and final Star Wars documentary that we will start shooting in May, regardless. We're 2 months behind already. So for you insiders, you guys following Mocktails, on Patreon, on YouTube, you know what's going on. I'm still getting a lot of people asking me if I'm going to Ohio for the Rebel Force Radio Bash. I am getting people asking me if I'm making a third documentary. And I'm like, you guys aren't paying attention to the content, So, Matthew, I got to tell you, and Cody, you're going to be happy to know, I have decided to go to ICC this year. I was on the fence for the longest time, and I have another show producer, Jason Stockson,
Nice.
who said, yeah, he'd go. And I'm like, well,
Yes. I was hoping he would go
Now
too.
you gotta
I was
ride.
hoping we'd have some more returning customers,
Yeah. So he's making the trip with me. And we just locked it in like a day and a half ago. I got on the phone with him and I'm like, hey, all right, it's going to happen. And I reached out to Kevin Lyle and I said, hey, Kevin, what's going on with Michael Haven's guest list? It's a little thin this year. Oh, no, he's got a lot more people to announce. And damn, I think he's announced 4 people in the last 48 hours. We got the actor from The Greatest American Hero. This show's a little nostalgic to me. This was on TV in the mid 80s, early 80s too. So there's this connection between like playing Star Wars in the dining room and then having that show come on. I remember that show vividly from when I was a kid. Bob Moore, another Kenner guy that has not appeared at any conventions. So we got some fresh vintage is what we
because usually they've got all those toy guys at ICC cons. That's fun.
Yeah. I think this is a great addition. I'm glad they
To your
got
collection.
somebody new. Yeah. And then this guy here, who was we did the Stranger Things episode a couple months ago when I binged it in January. The kid that played young Will Byers is going to be there. So we got some Stranger Things celebrities.
Nice.
Michael Carter, Bib Fortuna. The list goes on and on.
I saw that. That looks
Cody.
cool.
Yeah, I've never met him, even though I got his autograph years ago. I feel like he's a little new to the scene. So since we're on the topic of celebrating the anniversary of Celebration 1 on this day, April 30th, all these years later, Cody, I know you're excited that we're going, so I'm happy that we're going to make this happen. You are in the process of hopefully making something else happen. Melshi played actor Duncan Powell. Tell me what's going on with that. What happened?
I mean, I don't know what's actually going to happen, but
You got no promises. Can't make a promise.
Yeah, no promises from me at least. But I had heard that Duncan was interested in going to more cons, or at least he'd been open to going to more cons. And I know how much you love his character and how much I feel like a lot of Star Wars fans would enjoy more Rogue One people, especially ones that we don't see as often. And I feel like he's one of those. I feel like he's a perfect, I guess, like sub character from that movie that I don't think I've seen at very many events.
No, I'm pretty sure he's never appeared at a convention in the U.S. He was at Star Wars Fan Fun Day, which happens, I think that's happening this weekend in the UK. It happens on a soccer field. And he was there once, and It was in an interview with Jedi UK, the Jedi UK news folks, right? They had interviewed him, and he said, "I want to attend more conventions," but he's not asked. And I reached out to Havens last year, and I said, "Hey, you gotta get this guy. He wants to go." But you said that he liked your post, correct?
Yeah, I'm actually bringing it up right now. I just remembered that.
So he
basically
actually
posted this.
acknowledged the fact. He's
Yeah,
acknowledged.
I basically posted something on my story saying that we want Melshi at ICCC, and he eventually saw it himself on Instagram. And see here, I circled him liking my call for ICCC to bring Melshi to
Yeah,
the
so
con.
he's there.
Yeah.
He knows it.
Yep, he's aware. He's aware that at least a few of us want him at ICCC, or at least at more cons, stateside.
Yeah, you know what, Matthew, I got to tell you, man, I am gonna miss you dearly, but I feel like this. I know you have strong commitments, and I feel like this has to happen. Like I feel like I need to go swimming in the deep end by myself. Like I got to figure out that fucking field microphone. I gotta, I gotta make it happen. Like I feel like I just got the call up from AAA, but it's a postseason game, right? So it's like I'm getting my big start, and I really can't fuck it up, and I got to get the ball over the plate. I'm going to be nervous as hell without you, but I do know that you're going to be with me in Texas, and I know there's going to be a lot of actors out there. A lot of actors out there. Now, you have something that kind of fell into your lap in your neck of the woods, a convention.
Yeah, my partner pointed out to me that there's this convention, which I'd never been to. It's in Hot Springs, Arkansas, which is only a couple hours from me, so it's an easy day trip. But they're gonna have she wanted to go to see a couple different people and just to go have a good time, and then they're gonna have Dickie Beer at this show, who was a stunt man for Return of the Jedi. He played a bunch of different roles, including I think Boba Fett, obviously, and Gamorrean Guard and stuff like that. And so we've never had him on the show, so I thought maybe we can chat with him while I'm there, and maybe chat with a couple other people as well, like we kind of do at our shows. And so I submitted for a press badge for this show, and if we get one, that would be cool. And if not, I'm still going to go and still try to chat with them without a press badge. But yeah, hopefully it'll be fun. And I haven't really done anything in Arkansas. Like I checked the Arkansas and the Mississippi shows, and there just hasn't been any Star Wars guests over the past 2 or 3 years since I've been assisting you with interviews. So I've been keeping an eye out on it, and this is the first one really that's come up. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I want to say May 16th. I want to say that is George Lucas's birthday, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Either.
I'll have to bring that up.
Another, again, this is happening in May. I wish ICC was happening in May. I get it. Not everything can just be, in Star Wars month. Let me ask you guys this. Do you think, because I feel like Star Wars is coming at me full force. Do you feel like there's a little Star Wars overload as we turn? I didn't
not overload. No, I don't. Like all there is right now is that mall show, which is okay, but yeah, I'm getting pumped up because of your Patreon post that you want to do a bunch of stuff, so that'll be exciting.
See, now that Patreon post too that I made, and you guys check out. Here we go. Let me see this, Cody. I gotta blow this up here. It's funny. My daughter I took my daughter to the toy show, and she bought a Funko Pop Five Nights at Freddy's. I took my daughter to the toy show. I spent, I don't know what, I was like being a grandpa. I was like, yeah, you want this? You want that? Sure. and then like after we hit the $60 mark, I'm like, okay, you are going to have to do some chores at home. I'm paying you pro bono for this. But she bought her first Funko Pop, and I'm like, you got to stop there. She goes, Dad, but you have Funkos. And I'm like, yeah, but I've said this story before when it comes to collecting. Funkos they're like gremlins. You know, you try to stay away from them, they just multiply in your collection. one of those things. But going back to the convention, go back to the convention in your neck of the woods, Matthew. So there are conventions that happen out by you, but Star Wars guests few and far between. You say?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I would say that there may be smaller shows, or at least they're just not Star Wars focused. Like there was a show 2 years ago where they had a bunch of Star Trek actors. They had a bunch of like the Next Generation actors all together, which was awesome. And so maybe at some point they would do that, but it seems like they kind of, it's not like the Texas show, the Rebel Scum Con, where they've got like 30 guests. It's more like 10 or 12 guests, and half of those are like voice actors and cosplayers and stuff like that. So most of these shows that I see that are around here, like in Mississippi and Arkansas, it's usually like 2 or 3 kind of bigger named actors. And so it's just a matter of time before we get more people. I think it just hasn't happened since I've been watching it closely.
Yeah, no, I realized too that they've started to announce guests for Star Wars Celebration next year, and it's people that we've already seen a gazillion times. But for content creators like what we do here, I would highly doubt that anybody is going to get a chance to even talk to anybody
No, I don't
actor-wise
think so.
at Star Wars Celebration. I just think there's so much red tape around that.
Well, and there's so many people that go, like there's no way they would have a moment, to talk like we find at these other shows. Like they're going to have lines all the time.
Yeah, and I was thinking about that too, right? Because it's all about the time. Even when we go to IC and we go to Rebel Scum, it's like, that's the deal. We can talk to them, but they don't want to take away time from the fans.
Yeah,
right?
we have to do it when they're not signing, like when they're just kind of hanging out in between. We have to kind of sneak in there real quick, and then we have to stop if they get somebody.
Yeah, which can definitely be a challenge. I remember Anaheim though, 2015. I remember that was kind of before it blew up really big though. That was before the prices tripled and it became this big, as Michael Haven said, corporate monster.
Yeah.
But man, there were some slow moments with some people, for sure. But I after that, I don't think it's going to happen again.
I
got
actually
it.
in London, I got super lucky that last day, and that's when I got to talk to Tim Rose the first time for like 20 minutes, just at his table. He was just hanging out at his table, very, very end of the 4th day, and I'm willing to bet that at Celebration, if you wait till that very end of the last day, you might catch some people at their tables just hanging out in some more casual situations.
Kind of at the last day kind of thing, for sure.
Yeah, you're not going to get anyone like Hayden or Ewan, obviously, just chilling at their table with nobody there. But the people that are going to not have a bunch of security in front of them, there was a lot of good opportunity to talk to people. I got to talk to 2 Tubes a little bit, and I got to talk to Tim Rose.
Oh, you know what? I think Tim Rose too. I don't know, maybe because he's been on the convention circuit for a while, and the first time I met him, it was in London, so he was living out there. So I think maybe because he was living out there, people already have met him before, kind of thing.
Yeah, maybe he does a lot of British shows or something.
It was also the end of the con, though. He was getting ready to pack up and leave, and he started talking, and he didn't want to stop. It was almost like ICCC, where he did the same thing last year with me and my buddy Super Dad, or Matt Preston. He just talked to him for so long that we could kind of get the feeling that his wife was like, "Hey, come on." Come on, honey, move it along. We got more people to sign for.
Not to you guys, but to him, right?
Yeah, to him, because we're trying to also be polite, and we also want to hear what he has to say. So we're also not rushing him.
Yeah. It was funny because when we talked to him, I did not feel that sense of urgency. Like, hey, hurry up, boys, I gotta go.
Yeah,
He's like, oh,
he
you want to hear
wants to
another
tell you a
story? I'm like,
story, and he wanted to make sure it was a news story when I told him he talked to me in London.
oh, no kidding.
Yeah,
The
so he
second
made
time you
sure.
talked to him.
Yeah, he made sure to. He told me to tell him if it was something he had already told me.
Yeah, and you're like, and you were paying attention, so you're like, okay, tell me a story, and I'll stop you if I've heard that one before.
Pretty much.
So, Matthew, you brought up a good point. The point you brought up was possibly going to Celebration next year to hang out. And show producer and brother Rich Brindle had said he was looking at prices. And he said, you know what? I can't justify spending this kind of money going out there and not even thinking about going to the convention just to meet up with people. And I said, yeah, and I don't want anybody to take this the wrong way. This is my personal take and my personal opinion. I love people. I love community, but these conventions, I know a lot of you guys go to hang out. What we need to do is we need to plan a proper vacation, maybe on the fucking beach somewhere. Get a verbal, go to the mountains, not go to fucking LA and hang out and spend money on, expensive hotels and that sort of thing when we're not even going to go to the convention.
Well, that's not what I was saying when I was saying that earlier. I was just saying I'm not going there to spend a bunch of money on collectibles like you guys do. I just want to go and walk around and look at things. I still want to go to the convention, but I'm not like looking for exclusives and spending all that kind of money on autographs and things like that. But I would still go just to look at, if there's kind of exhibits and to just see how it is and look at.
Okay, so you would go to take in the convention at least.
Yeah, but I mean, mostly it would be because I want to see you guys and experience the show. And I grew up in LA, so I have other reasons to go there too. Like I might like go to a Dodger game while I'm there or whatever, and go see my aunt who lives in San Diego and that kind of thing while I'm there. But I would still want to go to the show. Like I might not go to, like if the tickets are really expensive, I might just pick like a couple days and do those 2 days and then stay somewhere cheap, like off site.
Now, Cody, what about you? I was going to say, do you go to just see the people? But I know you go to experience the con, get the autographs. Like Matthew said, you kind of well-rounded about your con experience, yeah?
Usually, but I feel like because I've done one Star Wars celebration at least now, where I did get autographs from a lot of different, big name actors where I had to do long waits, and waste, I feel like, chunks of the con in line.
Yeah.
That this time around, like that first announcement or that first batch of guests, they're all guests I've already seen that first time around at Star Wars Celebration or at ICCC, except for Michelle Ang. I would like to see her somewhere, eventually. So maybe she would be someone I'd wait in line for because it wouldn't be as bad, I don't think. But if I go, and I'm kind of trying to plan on going to this next year as well, my goal this time around would be the same, just to really hang out and get to experience the con itself. Because at those cons, there are a lot of really cool booths set up and a lot of cool vendor setups.
And like the last one, there was that like Mandalorian exhibit where they had all the armor, and like I'd like to see that kind of thing if they have something like that again. But I'm not down. I mean, I don't collect autographs anyway. I'm not down to like go wait in lines, but I do want to go see the show. I haven't been to one since 2017, so
I want to save that for the smaller cons like ICCC, where they are more accessible and it's a lot easier to get and you get the time where it's not rushed,
Yeah, we talked about this on the show a long time ago. Probably during the last celebration, we were doing a lot of Machtails episodes leading up to that. But Matthew, you say you don't collect autographs, and I totally get that and respect that. Do you think people like me and Cody that collect autographs? How do you see us looking in like the autograph thing is a very strange thing. It really is. I feel like with me, it was my obsessive compulsive Like, how many 8x10s can I fucking get? Like, I want to get, okay, I got 200, now I want 2,000. You know, it became more of a goal to collect these things as opposed to
I mean, I don't frown on it or anything. It's just not the thing that I'm interested in collecting. Like, I like to meet the people and say hello. And I mean, I'd enjoy a photograph more than an autograph, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I have some autographs, you know, but I haven't like paid a bunch of money for them. Like, I have that Ryan Johnson one that I got for free, and like I got Timothy Zahn to autograph a comic book a couple years ago, and it was like $10. Like, if it's something like that, then and it's somebody who I like, then I'll go after it. But it's just not my niche, I guess you could say. Like, I have other things that I collect, and I've thought about, like, I have Pokemon cards, and so if there's like voice actors who do the Pokemon anime, I might like get them to sign a card.
Mark Thompson.
And like when I go to minor league ball games, you know, like where the Dodgers AA team is playing, like I'll bring baseball cards like for some of those AA players and see if I can go ask them to sign it for me. So I mean, I do have some, but I'm not in that, you know, realm of like with the 8x10s and like spending $40 or $50 for an autograph or that sort of thing. It's just not for me. I couldn't afford it, and so I just it's not what I'm doing.
Yeah, I used to get them all. You know, there was nobody that I left behind with the autographs. But after they went from like $10 to $20 to $40, it's like I can't do it. You know what I mean? And when we went to Rebel ScumpCon last time, that was I brought home probably more autographs that time than I did in a really, really, really long time. You know, it's hard for me to justify spending the money on them because baseball players, I don't get it. So baseball players sign for free. Usually athletes always sign for free until you go to those sports shows.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what?
Yeah, we just had one here with Dwight Gooden was at it, and he was signing for money. I didn't get his signature, but he was there.
You know, I got Dwight Gooden for free. You know, I got him.
I mean, it wasn't expensive, but
you know,
it's not what I was there for.
But I mean, some of those guys
he was never on the Dodgers, so
it's a whole. God, we could go down a whole nother rabbit hole. Autographs weren't even on my list to talk about today.
Well, I think as well, like I'm not the kind of I not anymore anyway. I'm not like a completionist kind of collector. Like I get Pokemon cards, but I don't try to complete the sets because I'd be like pulling my hair out and spending a lot of money. Like if there's cards that I think look good, I'll get them, especially if they're not expensive. And it like I used to try to when I was doing Star Wars comics, I would get every comic book, but then I got burned out on that, and I was buying like a lot of comic books that I didn't even like. I just felt like I had to have one of every issue, and then I eventually quit doing it because I didn't like a lot of them anymore. And so I've kind of as I've gotten older, I've been more aware of that and trying to just focus on like things that I like, and I don't have to have a set of anything.
Yeah, it doesn't. Whatever you're collecting doesn't have to be 100% complete.
Yeah, complete.
I do want to remind people about ICC. That's the only hang up about this fucking show is that it's on Father's Day weekend, but I'm coming back from an East Coast vacation with my daughter. So I'm going to see her before and I'm going to see her after. That's why I was like, you know what? I got to go. I got to go to IC. I got to. And those interviews, man, those interviews there, I don't take it for granted. It keeps the show going. It burns the flame here on Machtails from the Cantina. And I feel like after coming off this dedicated month of May, like you said, Matthew, I just posted all these plans. And the fact that it's in ink and it's posted now, I got to stick to it.
Yeah, you have to do it.
Goal-oriented, man. Yes. So I think IC would be a good way to kind of roll off of Star Wars month. And I do want to remind people, MFTC 10, the code gets you money off your ticket. I believe it's 10%. 10% off the ticket. Celebration tickets go on sale May 6th. You need to have your celebration tickets purchased before you can take advantage of the hotel room blocks that they have. That's very, very important. Matthew, I see that we are going to take a look at some exclusive merch here. It's funny, you can't have Star Wars without the merchandise. Some of this shit's really, really cool, you know. This goes on sale, I believe, as well. Don't quote me on that. Possibly.
I think some of it for sure. If I read the art or the ads right before, some of it does go on sale with tickets at least, as like the pre-purchased shirts that you can purchase when you purchase the ticket.
Yeah, I think they've been doing that too over the last maybe couple celebrations. Kind of a newer thing. I think there's
I really like this shirt on the right. This Los Angeles shirt is cool. I mean, I'm from there, obviously, so I'm biased toward that, but I think it's a cool looking shirt. I think they're going after like some of the sports too. I don't know if you noticed, but there's a Dodger-esque.
I mean, that looks like it's got Dodgers all over it on the front.
And this one, I mean, it reminds me on the right. I know the Raiders haven't been in LA for a long time, but it reminds me of the Raiders a little bit. Like when I was growing up, the Raiders were in LA, and that was our team.
Yeah, sure.
I like that 50th shirt too.
Yeah, the 50th shirt's nice. You know, it's funny, those long sleeves, I tell you, I got a collection of shirts, to say the least. The long sleeves, for some reason, some of the bottoms are really, really good. Some of the bottoms are missing like the fabric that weighs it down, and they curl up at the bottom.
Oh, I hate that.
Fucking drives me nuts. I'm like, why couldn't you just...
This, unfortunately, I probably wouldn't get because it's not the kind of thing I would wear. But I think it's cool that they're tapping into the Dodgers colors for LA.
Yeah. I mean, 100%. I do like that. You know, here's the thing too. It's like some of the, again, like you said, Matthew, you can't have it all. You know, you got to pick and choose here.
I like this gray shirt on the right as well, with the sort of like, it reminds me of sort of the Hollywood. Well, it is like the Hollywood sign, but then it has the twin suns behind it. I think that's pretty cool too.
I like both of those quite a bit.
Yeah, I like that jersey a lot. That jersey's sweet. Twin Suns is cool. I am a fan of the key art.
Is that what's funny on this sweater here?
Yeah, Dave Dorman. He's kind of bitter, I think, against the whole celebration movement, and he's like, that's probably fucking AI.
Oh, is that what he said?
Yeah, and I'm like, I get it. I get it that, you know, I get where he's coming from, but I still like it, you know.
Are you gonna get one of these bags?
I bet you there's an artist attributed to it already.
You know, there has to be, and the funny thing is that Celebration, I feel like there's a lot of Star Wars art out there that keeps the artist name like hidden, you know? A lot of the holiday artwork, for example, some of the baseball artwork out there, it's like, who did this? It's like, well, that's not important. We hired him to paint the image. We're not advertising what he does. And I'm like, well, that's kind of part of it, right? You know?
Yeah, get some recognition and get your career boosted a little bit.
Yeah. I do like that back there. The black on black, I'm not a big fan of that, you know.
You're not going to go Star Wars purse?
No. You know, I get it if my wife likes it, you know, but I think there's other things to... She'd be like, you know what? I want this instead, you know? So that's some of the merch. I got to tell you guys two quick stories here. One, my daughter comes down while I'm working on the show intro today, which thank God it worked. And once in a while,
thank you, StreamYard.
Thank you, Adobe, for rendering a smaller version. So I was getting a little stressed because the clock's ticking. My daughter comes down. I'm like, hey, I'm busy. You know, she goes, hey, Dad. She goes, you know anything about this Maul Shadow Lord? I'm like, yeah,
Maul rats.
You know, and I'm like, yeah, I do know that. And she's like, my friend, who's a big Star Wars fan, she's watching it. She wants to know what episode you're on. And I'm like,
one.
Yeah. I'm like, tell her I'm just starting.
Did you tell your friend that's not a real Star Wars?
No, Cody's shaking his head. Cody, how are you feeling about Maul's Shadow Lord right now? Are you loving every minute of it?
Yeah, I'm loving it so far. I'm excited to see how this season wraps up. So, and then they've already greenlit season 2 before this season started. So I feel like they have a clear plan with where they're trying to go.
So is it fake news or not that Acolyte season 2 is going to happen? I see a lot of that bouncing around on the internet this
I
week.
haven't heard anything official on that.
Oh, it's probably bullshit then. There's
Yeah, I
so
wouldn't
much
believe it.
bullshit out there. I can smell it through the screen.
The mall show is pretty good though. I like it. It's good.
Oh,
And
so you're
the animation is good too. Yeah, I like it. I mean, I've always liked the animated shows. I was like on the last show we were talking about it. I was kind of, just pointing out like I enjoyed it more when we didn't have any new movies and like back when George was more in charge of it. But I still like it and it's good. And this new one, it has some interesting characters and dynamics going on, and it seems like, I mean, like we'll see what happens when it finishes up, but hopefully it's self-contained as well. I don't like it when they can't end a story. And so since there is a season 2, I wonder if they'll actually have an end to the story. But so far it's been real good. I've enjoyed it a lot.
yeah, I want to. I asked my daughter. I said, "Why do you want to watch it?" Because her story is a big her. I don't want to say her fandom. My relationship with her, when it comes to Star Wars, that is a part of the Force around us story. Second story I wanted to tell you before we start looking at this Mando and Grogu merch. I had this because I posted that last night on Patreon, all this stuff about Star Wars month. So, of course, Dreamland brought me into Star Wars dreams. I had this dream. I'm with my wife hanging out at the nail salon, and Mark Hamill's wife is there. And they're like, hey, for May 4th, we want to do something really low key, super random, and just drop in randomly on where Mark would be least expected to be seen at the nail salon. And it was crazy. And a good friend of mine, Rob, was there. So I sent him this text like 6:30 in the morning. I'm like, Rob, I just had a dream we were at the nail salon and Mark Hamill was there and you were in it. He's probably like, what the fuck is going on, man? So meeting Mark Hamill in the lobby of a movie theater, God, back in 2000, that was one of the top, I want to say top 3, but maybe top 5 Star Wars things that I've ever done. That raised the bar super, super high for me. That was a great experience. All right, so what are your plans for Mando and Grogu? Do we have tickets yet? Cody, Matthew, you guys got any plans at all?
Unfortunately for me, I'm going to this it's this like invited. They're calling it a salon. It's like this sort of. It's not a secret, but it's sort of like an invite only sort of conference for archaeologists that do a very specific type of archaeology, and like you have to be invited to it, and it's like out at some plantation in Georgia that's like on this former Coke CEO's property. Like it's kind of in the middle of nowhere, and it's like all paid for. Like I'm going for 4 or 5 days, and it's all the food and the lodging is all paid for, and I'm bringing my artifacts. And so anyway, the first night is like the night that the movie comes out, the 22nd. So I'm not going to be able to watch it until like 4 or 5 days after it comes out when I get back home. So
I thought you were going to say they were doing a private screening for everybody.
I mean, that would be cool, but I don't. I mean, I guess that could happen, but I doubt it. So probably when I get back, I'll get back like Sunday night, and then I want to go see it in Little Rock on a nice screen because there is a theater here where I live, but it's kind of shitty.
Okay.
So I'll probably go up on Monday or Tuesday and watch it in Little Rock on a good screen, and then I'll come back and watch it here 2 or 3 times, and then I'm going to Little Rock for like 2 weeks to do a field project. So I'll probably see it up there a couple more times in a good theater at least.
So you got to wait 5 days. So you're going to be spoiler free.
I'm totally cut off from all, aside from you, like social media anyway. So I'm not going to get spoiled.
Okay. That's good. Cody, what
and
about
I
you?
don't care as much anyway anymore about being spoiled. Either.
I'm planning, I don't have my tickets yet, but I plan on getting tickets and going at least sometime opening night. Me and Riley are going to go. And then I think my stepdad, Gustavo, is going to go with us as well for opening night.
You have a special theater, or is it just big screen kind of thing?
I mean, we pretty much, in Indianapolis, I've got every different type of screen I can go to. I mean, I know that I'm for sure gonna see it on IMAX at some point to see
Yeah,
how it looks.
I got to do that too. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know if that'll be opening night though, because I know I'm planning on seeing the movie at least 3 to 5 times is my plan in theaters.
Now, where's your excitement level with the movie?
I'm pretty excited. I mean, he's pretty up there, and the characters that I like and enjoy. I like the
Yeah,
whole Mandalorian culture though, so almost any Mandalorian character is gonna make me excited.
my expectation is for it to be as good as the TV show was. That's it. I just wanted to have that continuity of it. Like, there was no disappointment with the TV show. So I'm not expecting any disappointment with the movie. Matthew, how about you? Excitement? Where you at with it?
I'm at like probably a 6 or a 7. I don't.
Okay, that's good.
I got a little like I was kind of done with Grogu, and so I feel like they chose this because it's popular and not so it's fine. Like my expectations are low. I don't think it's gonna be bad, but I'm just tempering my expectations, but I like a lot of the actors that are in it, and I'm sure it'll be good, and it'll be exciting if they throw like Luke in there or something would be fun. But I get the idea that they probably want to like use this as a new springboard onto like more films, and so I assume they're gonna like leave stuff open to go do more films in this sort of region of Star Wars, like the post Return of the Jedi era. Since I mean, I don't petition the Star Wars news at all anymore, so I don't even know. Like I know there's going to be a new Ahsoka series at some point, but I assume they're going to use it as a springboard to do more movies in that era. So we'll see what happens.
I guess because too Ahsoka is such a popular character, I wouldn't be surprised if they made an Ahsoka film. I could see that being a thing. So for opening night, I bought a ticket for me and my daughter. And we are going to my favorite movie theater down the street, Marcus Cinema, based out of Wisconsin. You guys have Marcus by you? Marcus Cinema?
Never heard of it.
Yeah, they've been around for 90 years, but they are heavily based out of Wisconsin. I know they have theaters around the U.S., but they're not an AMC by any means. But their giant screen is loud, crystal clear. I'm not going the IMAX route on opening night, not going the 3D route. I am going to go see at the end of the month. They're playing it in 4D with the water, the smells, the moving.
I hate that. I hate that.
You don't like that, huh?
No, I tried Revenge of the Sith and I got real sick, so I'm never doing that again.
I think you told me. Yeah, you told me that on the show.
I got motion sickness real bad. And I just couldn't wait for it to be over. Yeah.
All right, well, I'm excited to see
what's your reasoning for no IMAX on opening night? Is there a reason for that? Because I was going to go see it for my first time on IMAX if I can.
Yeah, because now this is the thing I learned last year when they released the Pink Floyd film from 1970, that there's IMAX and there's true IMAX. Well, the true IMAX is in Woodridge, which is like 45 hours. Not 45 hours, 45 minutes. It's a long flight.
So it's for distance reasons, not because
it's for distance reasons. Yes.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. Now I did get invited. I know producers Suds and Brian and Tyler and all those guys, but my wife's going to be out of town for that screening, and I'm going to be with my daughter, and it's a school night. I'm like, you know what? Let's go down the street. Plus, that is the segue to what we're going to take a look at here with all the merch they have here. All this cool shit here. So the bottom right there.
I was laughing about that too. This cool shit.
The bottom right is a Mando pin. You can see the Marcus logo right above that. So we're gonna get the Marcus pin. That was just kind of a bonus. We didn't have to pay extra for that. Mm-hmm. They're doing like a fan event where
you have to pre-order that.
Opening night, we bought the ticket. Now that had popcorn bucket right there
on the left.
That is $80.
Wait, this thing right here, this ad here.
Yeah,
it's a popcorn bucket. It just looks like a toy.
It's a popcorn bucket that looks like a toy. That's exactly what it is.
Oh, and it's $80.
$80. Yeah, I was looking at that on the website. They had the
What?
pricing for that. That is nuts. It's like, do you want
Yeah.
a used vintage edit for $80, or do you want a popcorn bucket for $80?
Now, how much did you pay Cody for that spray paint art at ICC a couple years ago?
I think I could have got at least almost 4 of those.
Okay.
Oh, you could have got 4 of those $80.
Yeah, I could have got 4 of those.
But still, that is like infinitely cooler than this popcorn bucket. Like,
Yeah, that's
be a
one
lot
of the
more than 4.
kinds. That popcorn bucket, I didn't realize it was $80. That was actually one of the ones I wanted to get, but at $80, I might not. Because there's other
The only thing
ones
I'd
that
be
are.
interested in is this popcorn tin, the square one. But
That's
pretty
what
much
I was gonna say
Like
too.
none of this really speaks to me at all. So
Because if
So
that's a metal tin, that would be really cool.
yeah, that's the only reason. That's the only thing I would probably try to get if I had the option. But I
The
don't know
tin
about
is
this
cool
Harkins.
because it's got the poster art on it. You know, man. You know,
Mhm.
I am one day away from buying all that shit that's got the date on it, because, as you guys might remember, my wife's birthday is May 21st, which is the
Okay.
same day Empire was released. This is coming out May 22nd. But
Which
I
is whose
love.
birthday?
We'll say it again.
Whose birthday is that?
Well, Michelle's birthday is May 21st.
But this is the 22nd, isn't it?
I know, but if this film was released on the
Oh,
24th,
so you're saying if it was a day later? Okay.
yeah, like if
I was
this,
quizzing you on who's born at May 22nd because you always have like somebody's birthday on some
you
date.
know what, May 22nd, I could not tell you that one.
Oh wow. Okay.
All right, so I do like the helmet, but see, here's the thing, man. You know, I don't go to AMC really, and it's I know you can buy this stuff online, but it's just so fucking expensive, man. It really,
Yeah,
really
well,
is.
and
You
it's
know?
probably not that nice. I don't know. It doesn't look that high quality.
I mean,
And
I
it's
do
more
like.
just tied to the event. Is I feel like the only real significance behind it, tied to the movie, and the release of it. I don't feel like they actually, like you said, are that high quality. You could spend that money on a really nice statue or a really nice Hot Toys Mandalorian figure.
Yeah, right.
But you're getting both of
Exactly.
these pins, Chris?
No, you know what? It looks like the Grogu pin is a Cinemark one,
Oh, you're right.
and the Mando helmet
Marcus
is
is the
Marcus,
helmet.
and it looks like Marcus also has the Mando helmet cup with the straw coming
Yeah.
out. You know,
Classic.
the Mando bucket. You know what's
And they
cool?
have this Grogu tin bucket up here too, as Marcus.
I do. You know what? My daughter's probably gonna. She's like, "Oh, can I get that?" I'm like, "Yeah, fuck it, let's do it." That's what
$50.
happens. And I'm like, "Okay, you got to do some yard work for that," you know.
How
So
many leaves you
anyway,
have to rake for $80?
that is the that's a lot of stuff right there. Now I want to know the one guy that's going to collect all that shit. You know?
Sean Hines.
Yeah, Sean. It was funny. Sean tells me, he goes, "Hey, my wife told me we needed to go to Paris before the next celebration." She's like, "But celebration is next year, so we're going to go to Paris on our anniversary, 20-year anniversary,
Oh.
2028." So I'm like, I
Oh.
feel like now what the fuck are you gonna do? You're gonna go to celebration, spend all that money, and then next year, your wife's gonna want to go to Paris and be like, "Honey, we're still paying off the celebration trip." Because you bought all that merch, man, you know? So I don't know. Celebration is one thing, but I'm looking forward to ICC. I'm looking forward to Rebel Scum Con. And you guys will be partaking in now. Cody, you will not be at Rebel Scum Con, correct?
Yeah, I don't plan on going. I'm trying to also plan for Star Wars Celebration next spring, so that's where I'm going to be putting a lot of my financial focus after ICCC.
That sounds educated. Financial focus.
Yeah, I'm like, I should probably just lay off the other cons until maybe ICCC next year as well after, celebration.
Well, and that one's like kind of close to you, so it's,
Yeah.
Like
ICC I can
Dallas is only
drive
5
to.
hours for me, so it's a pretty easy trip for me
Yeah, that's actually the same trip for me pretty much.
to
So
ICC.
makes sense.
Well, I got a little bit of a dilemma here with going to Ohio for the Rebel Force Radio thing in May because we're filming out there. We're filming Jimmy and Jason, and I'm doing the math, and I'm thinking, okay, $500 for a hotel for 2 nights, and then I gotta get gas. Gas is fucking $12 a gallon.
Yeah, it's insane right now.
You know, food, and I'm thinking, wait a minute, can I justify spending that kind of money to go out there for interviews I can get probably here? I don't know. I that one's still up for debate. But I see, obviously, you guys producing the show, you guys supporting the show on Patreon at any level. Your funds are helping me get out to ICC. So, and it makes sense for the show, right?
Yeah, we're getting content.
Well, you've got a streak too. You can't break your streak.
Yeah.
I can't. I can't.
It's like celebration now.
It is. You're exactly right. Both you guys are right on that. Hey, talking about streaks. April is coming to a close. Dodgers 20-11. You happy with that record, Matthew?
Yeah, it's real good. Yeah.
Cody, don't go anywhere. We're not done talking Star Wars.
I actually have something to tell you about baseball.
About
Star Wars
baseball?
in a
Oh.
second.
Oh, you know what, Matthew? I'm going to interrupt you, Cody. I want to.
No, I want to hear about the Dodgers because I don't know anything that's going on. So this is all new to me.
Well, I mean, the thing about the Dodgers is that they know how to manage the regular season really well. Like their, plan is to win the World Series again for the 3rd time in a row. So,
Isn't that everybody's plan, though?
Yeah,
Wait,
I'm just not necessarily
right now.
Yeah, they've won the last 2, so they're going for a 3-peat this year.
I didn't even know.
No, but not every team is planning for that. Like some teams are rebuilding. Like, I mean, obviously everybody wants to be there, but not every team has the ability to really to go all the way, and they're not always trying to go for that. But my point is that winning in April is not as important as winning in October. So you have to you have to know how to manage all the players throughout the whole, because there's 162 games. You have to know how to plan all those out, and you have people who can fill in and like all you have to do is get to the postseason, and then you have and then it's full on there. So it's a matter of like sort of staying, high enough in the standings to be able to make it to October. You don't want to burn out and win like every game early in the season, and then you fall apart at the end of the season. So to me, I mean, 2011 is still amazing. It's like their second, they have the second best record, tied with Cincinnati and the Yankees right now. But like they've lost a few games recently, but they also have people on the injured list, like Blake Snell and Edwin Diaz on the injured list, and so it's fine. We're good.
20-11 is a pretty good fucking record in my opinion.
Yeah.
Which I can't complain because the Rays are 18-12.
That's
right,
still good.
and I know you have a new I don't want to say hate towards the Cubs, but the Cubs have dug themselves a little bit of a ditch in Dodgers Nation, so to speak. But the Cubs are 19-12.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, the way they do the postseason now, where like there's so many teams that get to go to the postseason, like most teams that have a winning record or have a good shot at being there, even if there's some teams that get there and they're barely above 500. So
yeah, that's true.
So as long as you keep a winning record at this point, going into the second half of the season, you're in good shape.
So, Cody, you said you have a baseball story for us?
Just news, I guess.
News.
Gustavo, who I mentioned earlier, actually texted me and my partner Riley asking if we would want to go to an event on the 9th coming up. And
Star Wars Day.
It's a Star Wars baseball game for the Indianapolis Indians. So Star Wars night there. So that'll be kind of cool.
Yeah.
I'm not really going to pay that much attention to the game, but I'll like to see the Star Wars stuff added to it.
Well, let me tell you this. The Indianapolis Indians, those guys are the AAA team for the Pittsburgh Pirates. So that is that's good baseball, It's minor league, but it's right before the majors. Are they doing any Are they doing any giveaways? Do you know?
I don't know. I mean, I imagine they'll have some merch that probably has like the date and marks that occasion. I might try to get something small just to mark the event. If they have a
You know what?
bobblehead or something, I'll try to get it. If they have something really cool, if you want, I'll look for 2 and try to get one for you.
Please, please text me on that for sure.
Yeah.
And that's going to be May 9th.
Yeah, that's coming up.
Yeah. Often what they do is they'll have, and I mean, Christian probably knows better than me because he goes to a lot more baseball stadiums than I do, but they'll have like music and sound effects and stuff like during the at bats. And like, at least the Dodgers, like, they have a great organist who will throw in Star Wars music on a regular basis anyway. Like, he puts in like the Ewok music, like when it's second to last out and they're about to win, and he'll play like Duel of the Fates sometimes, like when it's like a big, situation. But on Star Wars night, it's like every at bat has some kind of Star Wars music going into it, and so it's just fun to watch it, even if you're not a big baseball fan. I feel like if you're a Star Wars fan,
and it's the Dodgers keyboard player that
the organist,
the organist that he plays the song, and then he goes from the song in a dun 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 dun.
Sometimes he does that, but he's really good. I mean, he's
super good.
Like he's done the Olympics, and he's like a top organist for the whole world, I feel like.
I feel like
he's really good at incorporating like we have Yoshinobu Yamamoto, and when he gets a strikeout, he plays like Yoshi music for Mario and stuff like that. It's really funny.
I'm always at every baseball game I go to where there's somebody playing live music. I always feel like if you pay attention, there's a reason why they're playing what they're playing when they're playing it.
Yeah, there's tons of like little hidden references and Easter eggs if you pay attention to it. It's cool.
Last thing that I wanted to mention is Ted Lasso season 4 trailer dropped. I don't know if you guys are big Ted Lasso fans. We did the Ted Lasso special a couple years ago. Again, like Stranger Things, had to make room for that because I just fell in love with that show. And Coach Beard, Brendan Hunt, he is a big Beatles fan. He's at the Steppenwolf Theater until like May 11th doing this one-man Beatles story about how him and his mom met Paul McCartney. I need to make sure I get down for that because it's one of the projects that I promoted. If you guys did not like Ted Lasso or did not get into it, I would recommend binging it. The new season drops August 5th. But I know everybody's going to complain, or there's going to be a handful of complainers, because just like Star Wars, just like George Lucas back in the day, giving powerful, how do I say this? George Lucas gave Carrie Fisher the role of a prominent, powerful woman. Season 4 of Ted Lasso, he is coaching a women's soccer team. And for some reason or another, people go apeshit with that kind of stuff. Again, another subject in the force around us, why people hate women's Star Wars for some of the reasons they do. Anyways, sorry about that. Went a little bit on a tangent there. I think I might have to smoke this after the show tonight. Cody, I should save this.
I'll join you as a Force ghost.
I should save this for ICC. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for producing the show and joining me tonight. It's always a pleasure to have you guys on, hearing your Star Wars thoughts. Cody, tell us where people can find you again.
You can find me. I usually stream video games, a lot of Call of Duty, any new Star Wars games like Galactic Racer, which is coming out. They just gave the release date. I think it was like October 9th of this year. So I'll actually be playing a racing game for the first time in a long time, just because it's Star Wars. Because it'll be, pod racing. It's almost like having an episode 1 game come out all these years later. But I'm on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook under Mo Walker Gaming.
Under Mo Walker Gaming. And Matthew, people can find you here or in some kind of scenario where you're showing the artifacts.
Or at certain cons. They could run
Yeah,
into him.
I mean, I do a lot of stuff, but when it comes to Star Wars, Machtails is where I'm at. So I don't need to promote any other show besides yours.
And you, I would say you're the most visible producer, but Cody's been pretty active the last couple months, the last couple shows.
Yeah.
I want to thank you guys for watching at home. I want to thank, again, all my Patreon show producers, and reminding you, this little QR code will get you the paid access for free for a very, very limited time. I am your show host, Chris Mock. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for watching. We will catch you guys on Mocktails from the Cantina number 83. Expect a lot more content. Heavy Star Wars as we celebrate Star Wars month. You're celebrating it now because you're watching it on the playback, but we'll be celebrating it in the morning. Hey, be well, be safe. We'll catch you next time. So long, everybody.